powerful claws, the badger tears into the dry earth, searching for its next meal.
The honey badger, with its powerful claws, digs relentlessly into the dry earth, seeking shelter or prey within the burrow.
A rare sight in the searing heat, the formidable honey badger emerges, carrying its latent
The honey badger, famously fearless, reveals a rare moment of tenderness when nurturing its young.
In the middle of the burning yellow African savanna, a pack of African wild dogs is in action. They move silently through the tall grass, their large ears constantly wagging, their yellow eyes scanning every treetop and every clump of grass. The sound of crickets and early morning birds blends with the rapid breathing of the pack, signaling the beginning of a new hunt. From afar, an antelope separates from the herd, munching on grass in the dry swamp. In a split second, the pack leader rushes away, the shadows streaking like arrows across the grassland. The camera follows closely behind. The weeds blur into yellow streaks, leaving only the supple bodies of each individual accelerating. They coordinate perfectly, one blocking the head, one pressing the hips, one persistently following, turning the chase into a carefully calculated.
As the sun kisses the savanna, the resilient honey badger, or rattle,
Tactic. The antelope struggles desperately in the tight encirclement. The pack rushes in, ending quickly to save every bit of precious energy. There was no waste, every piece of meat, every tendon meant survival for the large family waiting in the distance. The heavy breathing, the growling, fighting for a share and then giving up, mingled with the sound of the wind whistling through the vast grasslands. When the hunger had subsided, Some individuals immediately separated from the herd, turning their heads towards the cave. They carried food in their stomachs, a living reserve for the weaker members of the family. In the sparse forest not far away, the puppies and the individuals at home were anxiously waiting. A joyful barking broke out when the hunters returned. They regurgitated the food they had eaten earlier, sharing it with the young and the individuals who did not part.
The African savanna awakens at dawn, a time of both beauty and peril for the painted wolf.
Participate in the hunt, a unique sharing ritual in the animal world. In the dry grass and the dry sunlight, the puppies crowded around the adults, eating and squealing with satisfaction. A few curious cubs bit and played with their siblings and the uncles and aunts in the herd. The camera captured moments that seemed chaotic but contained a clear order, hierarchy, discipline, care and solidarity. This was not just a pack of predators, this was a family. As the sun set, the herd became quieter. A female wearing a tracking collar raised her head, her brown eyes shining in the afternoon sun. She listened to the distant sounds of the steppe, the calls of antelopes, the calls of lost birds, the faint sound of thunder on the horizon. Tomorrow, they would have to risk their lives again on hunting trips dozens of kilometers long. Night fell. And life continued to move in the cave. The tiny cubs, eyes just opening, pressed close to their mother's belly, looking for warm milk. In a close-up view, we clearly saw a tiny foot, with the distinctive black and white spots of the species, gently scratching at the mother's fur as if clinging to safety. Outside, the adults take turns standing guard, their ears erect, ready to face any intruders, from hyenas to lions to humans. A few weeks later, the cubs are finally released from their dens. They toddle across the cracked ground, swaying like tiny shadows beside their parents' tall figures. Each step is a lesson: how to sniff the wind, how to read the white-tailed signal, how to join the pack, how to stop when a sentry calls, against the bustling background of call.
The African wild dog, or painted wolf, begins its morning patrol across the golden savanna.
Calls and hooting. The pack moves like a living stream between the sunburned grass and the green forest beyond. As the red sunset dyes the horizon, the African wild dogs gather again, clinging to each other, touching noses, licking faces to strengthen their bonds. Today's hunt is over. The task of raising and teaching the new generation continues. In the harsh world of the savannah, where the weak are eliminated, their true strength lies not in speed or sharp teeth, but in their ability to unite, to live, hunt, and sacrifice for each other. When the night completely falls, The grasslands enter a different rhythm of life. The dark sky is filled with stars. The faint moonlight drifts, covering the ground with a cold silver light. In the midst of that silence, the African wild dogs move. Closer together. They lie in small clusters, their bodies pressed together to keep warm, their ears always alert, turning to every vague sound coming from the darkness. In a makeshift nest in the tall grass, the puppies, full of milk, huddle together next to their mother. Their small, quick, regular breaths echo softly, blending with the sound of the wind blowing through the grassland. Although the world outside is full of danger, this place, in the protective circle of the whole family, is the only safe zone they have. Each adult plays an important role in keeping those small members alive through each long night. When the sky just breaks dawn, the first rays of sunlight penetrate the thick grass, lighting up a light yellow color like honey. The pups woke up first, their little legs wobbling, trying to walk.
The pack descends upon the carcass in a feeding frenzy, a raw display of dominance where only the strong survive.
Trying to run, sometimes stumbling, sometimes trying to chase their own shadows on the ground. The adults stood nearby watching, sometimes bowing their heads and gently pushing the pups back to the pack, both teaching them not to go too far and awakening their pack instincts. By noon, the sun was blazing down on the prairie, and the temperature was rising rapidly. The adult dogs retreated into the shade of the sparse forest, panting to cool off, while the pups continued to play in the sand, scratch at the ground, and fight over dry sticks. The camera followed every little movement, a light lick on a dusty face, a tumble in the sand, or a curious look when they heard the distant alarm bird. Then came a crucial moment in each pup's life. They began to learn to run with the pack. At first, they are clumsy and easily left behind. Their short legs kicking vigorously to keep up with the adults who are striding along. But it is through these first runs that they learn to read the whitetail signal, the most important language of the species. When it is erect, it is a warning. When it is waved quickly, it is a rally call. When it is gently jerked, it is a guide. The herd gradually leaves the forest and moves into the wider grasslands. Tall grasses sway in the afternoon sun. The dry ground cracks into patches. From the wide angle, we see the movement of the herd like a stream, flowing rhythmically through the wild natural landscape. The footsteps are light but urgent, the calls to each other with small but emotional sounds, blending into their characteristic rhythm of life. In the distance, the cubs begin to chase the long shadow of the adult's body. They leap over dry logs, run around low dunes, occasionally stopping